I'm Jeremy Pritchard. I'm currently the Head of Education in the School of Biosciences at the University of Birmingham, and I chair the Society of Ecology ETP Education, Training and Policy Committee. When I think back to all the different people at each stage, I think the one that still resonates the most with me is a guy at Sussex. He's dead now, John Maynard Smith. And he was a professor of evolution. And at the time we were there, so I was there in the very early 80s, they were developing new theories of evolution about the evolution of sex and what the benefit of sex was and how that could have evolved. And the advantages of that were given the cost of males in evolution. And at the time, as a sort of naive youngster, you go and you don't realise how great these people are until you reflect back on where you've gone. And I can see now that this person, John Maynard Smith, was really important to me because I had at the core this interest in evolution, because obviously all biology relates to evolution. And it was the way that he taught and how gracious he was with all the different ideas that he had, even with first-year students. So he would lecture in a non-patronising way. He wasn't the great professor. We know now at the time he was developing all these great ideas that now are in all the textbooks. But he would just talk to us about them. And at the time, maybe because student numbers were smaller as well, you'd sit in a coffee room next to these people. And they would discuss the ideas with you. And we were, I suppose, naive or lucky, but we didn't realise how great these people were. It was just what we expected. And so that brings you up in a culture of science which is very giving, which is very interactive. On a personal level, it's just, no matter how busy you are, no matter how great big you are in your career, what undergraduate students very early in their career life are just for you to talk to them about anything, you know, about their work, what they're doing, even if it appears trivial to you, to them, it's the most important thing. And I think I've taken that through, in a practical, for example, even if the students aren't asking you a question about the work, just talking to them about their lives and integrating them, saying, look, we're all in this together, I think, is a really important message at whatever stage of the biology career pipeline you're on. But on the specific biology, what I've taken from him that I think applies to all my biology now, at whatever level, is that I take an adaptive view of biology on an evolutionary sense, that we need to understand everything, whether it be how a plant grows, how an animal flies, behaviours, human conditions. We need to understand that through the filter of evolution, and whether it's an adaptation or whether it's a consequence of other adaptations. I think that gives you a bedrock of biology which you can't lose. You can't go wrong if you take that adaptive view of biology. I think the thing that made me a biologist, even though I came from a background where everybody was artists or linguists or studied humanities, was that whenever I asked a question, even though my dad was a French teacher, he would buy me a book or take me to a museum or buy some resource that enabled me to see that. And I think that's an important lesson because it means that you don't have to be a specialist to support people, you just have to be able to access the knowledge and help people help themselves.